We say things that don't mean anything, but thanks for listening. Yeah. Hello, everyone. We say things, episode 271. Suns fan here with Cinderin. What's up, bro?
Imagine this is the first episode you listen to. You're like, what am I listening to? Welcome to
We don't get new viewers and listeners, Cinderin. You know
Relax.
that. This is Dota after all.
Yeah, the algorithm is definitely pushing us to a new audience, though. They're here.
Okay.
Welcome, everyone. If this is your first episode, write it in the YouTube comments, please. This is the first episode of We Say Things you've ever watched.
Make sure you reply to one of the spam bots that posts, 6 or 7 things, making us feel really good about ourselves. Oh, I love this channel. And of course, their profile picture is some big-breasted woman. Definitely real, of course. Women love us.
You love AI, Shannon. This is what you get.
Yeah, that's true. There is a downside, as we're seeing. I remove those bots every time, and they just come back. And I've gotten to the point where, what's the point? I'm just going to leave them. I don't even care anymore. But what I do care about is our beautiful patrons. Now, I have to tell you, Patreon changed how they do things a bit with me, my process, and they've made it extra annoying for me to download these lists. And not only that, but they also have changed the order. I don't even know how the order was. I just kept it the same way forever. Now it's based off of how long they've been a patron, which was kind of the case. But the problem is some people are tied, and you'll notice the last person is not the same as a result. So just letting you guys know. Thank you so much to Peter Horniak, Isaac Hansen, Empire of Dirt, Malicious Damage, Wagyu Hater, Amish Toaster. Serious question: was the Falcons crowd paid or planted at EWC? Crownfall Enjoyer, Vlad, let's have Puppy on the podcast, Suns Nugget Boy, STGC Daniel, and Pepper Balls.
And T-Coil, Janie, Disco Farm D, it's impossible to look up and stick your tongue out at the same time, Mr. Niebling, The Megapope, Shark TM, Dop Anonymous, and Wooden Aftertaste. Man, it's so weird saying these in different orders.
I know.
After so many episodes. It's impossible to look up and stick out your tongue at the same time. This is bait. This is not a fact. He just wrote this so that we try.
I don't get it. Just look up
Why
like
would
this?
that be impossible?
I don't know. I'm not going to do it, Niebling. You're not going to bait me.
He's not getting us with this one. Nice try, buddy.
Okay, so we have content, as you so beautifully put before we started recording. And
we do.
The first thing is the major, major drama. Something that's actually, this could be the episode name. Something that has, this sounds like clickbait though, and it sounds not real, but it actually is. Something that's never happened, to my knowledge at least, ever at TI.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
A team has dropped out. Gaimin Gladiators make an official announcement. On Sunday, the Gaimin Gladiators organization informed us that they were this is from Valve, by the way, that they were withdrawing from their team from the International. After talking with the invited players directly, we learned they were unable to come to an agreement with their organization that would allow them to participate. We're now in the process of finding a suitable replacement team. I actually forgot to put the response from the CEO that prompted Quinn's response here. Maybe you could find that. But Quinn...
I was a little bit unequipped for this to do that at 5 seconds notice.
I'll just read the response while you look for that. It's all good.
Yeah.
Quinn's response...
I don't remember his account.
Quinn's response to the Gaimin, the manager or whoever... In light of the recent statements from Gaimin Gladiators, which you guys will hear about once Cinderin finds that, about the withdrawal from the International 2025 in Hamburg, we believe it necessary to provide some clarification. There's some outstanding issues between us and Gaimin that necessitated that we retain legal counsel. That being said, the decision to withdraw from the International was made unilaterally by Gaimin Gladiators. We explicitly communicated in writing that we were ready, willing, and able to compete in the International under the Gaimin banner. Gaimin Gladiators, however, refused to allow us to do so. Did you find the tweet?
I found Quinn's response. Does that help?
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic. Well, if he
I'm
found his
working on
response,
it.
oh yeah, he didn't actually reply.
It wasn't a reply. That's why I need to just find a post from a person I don't follow
Somebody posted
about
in
something
chat.
that
This is going
happened
to
a
be the
week
most
ago.
ghetto episode to date. Welcome to all the new viewers, of course, and
Oh yeah,
listeners.
yeah. Make sure you write in the comments if you're new.
This is pretty normal,
I'm
honestly.
trying to find it. Uh,
We're just going to wait silently.
yeah, that's really nice. Okay. I.
Do you want to sum
You
up what he
understand how
said,
impossible.
Cinderin?
Yeah, go for it.
I thought it was on Reddit. No, you sum it up. I barely remember
I'm
what he
trying
said.
to find it on Reddit.
Oh,
Dude,
wait,
this is a
somebody
great
posted
segment.
something.
Oh, did they find it?
Thank God. All right. Thanks
Oh,
to
I
our
almost
chat.
banned him in your chat.
Thanks
That
to
would
our
be nice.
chat. And
Okay.
thank you to Cinder for being useless as always. So this is from Nick Cucavillo.
So this is a response to Quinn, by the way. This is after Quinn's
This is
post.
not. I see.
Yeah.
Okay, we're just going in all different orders here. Following the post from Quinn, where he stated Gaimin Gladiators made a unilateral decision to withdraw from TI. His statement is misleading. We did, in fact, withdraw the team from TI, but this decision was predicated by a request from the team to terminate their contracts with Gaimin so they could participate at TI as independent players. We agreed to this request and notified Valve that we would not be able to field a team for TI given their switch-out rules. The team did not engage with us to agree terms to settle, and by the time they decided they would participate in TI, we had no confidence that the team or members of the team would remain with Gaimin or be in a position to represent the team and their colleagues at TI. Simply, it was the request of the team that precipitated this decision, their delay in making decisions and lack of preparedness to successfully achieve the desired outcome at TI and forced us to make this decision. There's still a lot more to this, which I can't further speak of due to legal considerations. So basically, 90% of what's going on here is not public knowledge. So
Yes.
we have to, I mean, it's our job, technically, to just base everything, our opinion, off of the current information, correct? Would you say that is the case?
What job?
Our very, very prestigious job of podcast hosts. Yes, that is correct.
All right. Let me say this, Shannon. I've had many people come to my my very known and beloved Twitch stream, twitch.tv/Cinderin, of course. That is for the new viewers out there who haven't heard.
Wait, I thought it was Cinder and Dota.
No, it's just Cinderin on Twitch. Hopefully your overlay hasn't said that wrong for 3 years and I haven't noticed, but who knows?
What overlay? Go ahead.
And they've asked me, what is your take on the Gaimin Gladiators drama or Gaimin Gladiators situation? To which I have said, I don't have information, so I can't really have a very strong opinion about this, except it sucks. So,
as usual,
the problem with this situation is that both sides are holding their cards tight, right? Because there's clearly some legal stuff going on here between supposedly, I don't know if it's all the players in the org or specific players in the org or whatever it is, but clearly both sides seem to be looking for some sort of legal counsel, right?
Yeah.
And obviously it means they're very careful with what they say in public, and in a surprising development as far as Dota history goes, seemingly nobody has really fucked up legally yet, which is incredible. And probably it's like finding a rare spawn or something, or what's it called in Pokemon, the shinies. So that's I actually think that's worth commending almost. I know this is a really fucking weird angle, but if you are doing something legally, I think as far as players go, they love to just, historically speaking in Dota, just wave around anything they have to say, right? And not,
I mean,
not necessarily to their own detriment, not keep things quiet when that is what you legally just have to do, which sucks, but that's how it is. This time around, it seems like they're doing that. So we just don't have very much info. But what we do know is what Nick wrote in that post, right? That's what we can go off of. Is that the players wanted to play, so this doesn't sound like, okay, the team imploded, right? It's not like the 5 players didn't want to play TI or they hated each other. That is the implication, at least based on his wording. So it's not internal strife. They probably weren't having the best time because Gaimin as a team haven't been playing their best Dota for a while now, but they also haven't been absolutely downright atrocious and just disband territory, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And why would you do that before TI? Like, what's the point? You might as well play it, right?
Yeah, I
Which is
think
also, like you said, it's never happened before.
I
right?
personally think since we do a podcast, it would be a disservice not to speculate a bit because people get entertained by this stuff. You know, obviously
This
for
is
the
very
team.
meta.
I mean, this is what we're supposed to do.
Talking about on the podcast.
If we let's just imagine a podcast where we state the facts and then don't speculate anything, it would be the most fucking boring shit ever. That's my opinion, at least.
It's me. Anyway.
Yeah, if you were if I was Cinderin and I was co-hosting with another Cinderin, do you know how fucking boring that shit would be? Good lord! And then if it was just me doubled, it would be like watching ESPN with the bullshit Stephen A. Smith spews out. So you need a delicate balance here.
That's fair. All right, I got a little credit. I'll take it.
So obviously for the players, first and foremost, it sounds like they wanted to play, right?
Yes.
So this is just awful, horrific. Now it's likely based on just these conversations or these tweets that we've read alone that these players, even if they had done really well at TI, would not have stuck around with Gaimin Gladiators. That's, I think, pretty apparent. And like I said, this has never, to my knowledge, this has never happened at TI before, a team withdrawing like this. I mean, there could have been like a lower echelon team, like in the Chinese region. Like maybe it wasn't TI I'm thinking of, maybe a major.
I mean, I know at TI1, one or two invited teams chose not to participate because they thought it was a scam, right?
Sure,
that's not the same.
No, that's different.
Yeah, but that's the only other example I can think of.
I'm trying to understand how it's possible from like what their contracts look. Obviously, this is true speculating since I have zero knowledge of this. Like, how are your contracts written out? How did you agree to contracts that allow this to even happen? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I guess if you're just paid that well, to me, this is like, okay, I don't know how this could possibly happen if you're signing contract. And the other thing is, and maybe this is different. Again, zero knowledge, all speculation.
Mm-hmm.
Almost every org, every team when they sign with orgs, their contract will end after TI. That's like the end of the season. Now, they could have multiple years contracts theoretically, but it's always going to end after TI. That's just how it works. So that's another thing that doesn't really match up with like let's say they weren't getting paid or something in the interim, like the last few months or whatever, which could be the case, could not be the case. And they want to play on their own. I feel like that's justification to be able to just play on your own, and Valve would be able to step in that case, theoretically, unless the contract literally states, hey, if we don't pay you, you still got to stay with, like, that can't happen, right? That's why things aren't really adding up, and obviously there's a lot of information we don't know.
The thing that's so tricky about this is like, okay, let's entertain the idea that it could be either side that did something unacceptable, right? It could be that the org isn't retaining their their responsibility to the players by the contract, or it could be that the players are voiding the contract, or at least doing something that is clearly stated within the contract that they have to do, and they're just refusing to do. A lot of the time, these esports contracts will have some sort of either a possibility for, generally speaking, in the org's favor, most of the time, I would think, to void a contract
chaos,
if players.
Of course. Yep.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that makes sense. Where if players don't do their due diligence or just flat out don't do their job correctly that they're hired to do and being paid for, that they can void the contract with a termination. I think some of them can even have immediate termination, even immediate termination. Some can maybe have like 2 months, whatever it is. But it's obviously also possible that it goes the other way, that the players are doing their job and the org is failing to uphold their side of things. Regardless, let's say there is a way for this contract to be voided. Now, regardless of who's at fault, if it is voidable and either side wants to void it are in the right to do it legally, then as you said, the players in either case will be released. But then the question is, what contract do the participating orgs have with Valve, right? Because, for example, let's say the contract is voided. The 5 players want to play at TI, but the contract that the orgs signed with Valve give the slot to the org. And now the org are like, we have this slot. We want to be at TI. If this roster of players don't want to do it, then we want to find a solution so that we can be at TI. There's a possibility of maybe, if the contract is voided, perhaps, or if it's whatever. Let's say it's voided to make it simple. Then the org might use it as leverage against the players and say, you guys want to still play at TI? You have to play under the GG banner on different terms that are more favorable for us, or we're just not going to give you the slot, right? They could just flat out use it as leverage. If that is the rule with Valve and the contract that there is there, that the orgs retain the slot. Because in that case, the org is now put in a position where they either have to try to convince their ex roster to play under different circumstances, or they have to go and find a new roster. But again, by Valve's rules for how many players you can change, I think you can't do that, right? The orgs have to retain a set amount of players that they qualified with for the actual tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So it becomes a catch-22 where the org doesn't want to cooperate with the players because the contract has been voided one way or the other. But at the same time, the players want to play, but they can't because the org has to field X amount of players. And then they can suggest all sorts of stuff. They could suggest different terms. They could suggest we replace one player if that solves the problem, if it's internal issues, whatever, depending on what the rules are. But if they can't make any sort of agreement and it's contractually set in stone with Valve how things are going to be, then Valve can't just be like, yeah, the players can just play as an independent org. Because at that point, then the organizations, unless, again, this is such a contract mess and it's just hard to know.
But I think, like, when I first read that they were not going to be playing, the first thing, like, before any posts were made, as in just the Valve post, my first thought was, it sounds like the players didn't want to play under the Gaimin banner.
Right.
And Gaimin wasn't okay with that, so they just did not let them play, which, from an org perspective, if you're going to be spending that much money on a team, I can actually understand that being a decision, even if it's unpopular. But, Quinn, I don't know him that well, but from, just being around him outside of the toxicity in pubs and all that, he's a pretty upfront, transparent person. I think he's generally very honest. And again, I'm not saying that the Gaimin side are doing anything nefarious necessarily, but just based on what I know, at least, I believe that when Quinn says that they were willing to play under the Gaimin banner, I believe that that is probably the case. So that means that the org didn't like whatever this legal stuff is that was happening before TI, right? So they don't agree on something. They got legal counsel. Gaimin Gladiators as an org did not like that and then threatened the slot as a result. The players likely said, no, we will retain our legal counsel because whatever this issue is going to continue to be an issue. We want to make sure that we're taken care of. And then Gaimin pulls the plug. That's, again, zero actual information. I literally haven't even reached out to anybody on either side to figure out what the story is because I wouldn't be able to talk about it anyway. But that's my pure speculation.
Exactly. It's not our thing to do, right? Like, this is... We're not going to try to poke and prod them for clues to make this more... like whatever, to make this investigative journalism or whatever. That's not what we do.
I've done that a couple times, and it's not worth it. I'll say.
I will say there was one coming to mind. I think I heard of a rumor that, first of all, I think I heard two versions of this, so I don't know which one is true or if it's a merge. But effectively, I heard that some players wanted to kick the coach, and so did the org. And I think I also heard that the org wanted to kick the coach, right? And then that either it was in the place of the coach, I think it was in the place of the manager who had been with the org since its beginning, I believe, since the infancy of the org, was being fired to make space for the girlfriend of someone higher up in the company or whatever. So effectively, it was just flat out nepotism, right? If that is true, then that could be an indication of what potentially the players might have taken issue with as well. And if this starts becoming that kind of spiral where, all right, we have this coach that we like or that we've been with forever, and you guys are just kicking or replacing him for whatever reason you want, then it might become extremely vicious, right? Where it's like the players care about this coach and want him, and they've had a lot of success together. That coach is off the team. Now the players are like, what the fuck is the org doing? Then the org this and that, blah, blah, blah. Like, again, pure speculation, but that could be perhaps this rumor could be a clue to what could be going on. That maybe management in Gaimin Gladiators and the team have just had some fundamental disagreement on what is good for the Dota team, and then maybe the players have felt ignored or not listened to in the way things have changed, and then
maybe there's
like,
a stipulation that Quinn is not mentioning here, that they're ready, willing, and able to compete under the Gaimin banner if the coach is rehard or whatever.
Could be.
So impossible to know without having inside knowledge. So either way,
but what I will say,
ass,
in conclusion, yes. There was a couple of supportive tweets coming out as well. I'm not going to quote them word by word or whatever, but effectively, other really high up players that are participating in TI are pointing out just how incredibly soul crushing this is for the players. Like, again, they're not even talking about the legal side of things, right? Obviously, the players can't even express and say what they want about the issue. But for some of these players, I think for 2 of them, it was going to be their first TI, or at least one of them. And for the more experienced players that have actually been in the running to win the Aegis, as much as people love drama or whatever, on a personal level, this is extremely frustrating for the players. They spend countless hours and, years of their lives prioritizing this over all sorts of other stuff. And then people go like, yeah, but they're making good money, If you're a competitor, you want to play at the World Championship. It's that simple. Like, you're not going to get snubbed at TI and be like, whatever, we got good placements in other tournaments this year. It's fine. Yeah, sure, they're financially well off, but this fucking sucks. Like, you're aspiring for greatness when you're playing at this level. You want to play at the World Championship. You would way rather play at the World Championship, suck ass and get last, than not get to play, because then you're always going to be stuck with wondering, what if,
Yeah, and like,
how good were we going to be?
Like we mentioned, this is not like a bottom tier team. Like, if they got top 4 at TI, I don't think anybody would be super surprised. If they won TI, I'd be a little surprised, but it's not like, some underdog team that just wins out of nowhere. So they definitely had a shot at doing quite well. So that makes it worse.
The underdog angle is fair too, right? That's why these tournaments are so interesting, is that regardless of the size of the stage, sometimes there's a team that nobody expects anything out of that gets top 3. We've had plenty of examples of that at TI. So it doesn't even matter necessarily that this is Gaimin. It could be any of the teams. And my angle would be the same. It's just, I think every single team that qualifies for TI is hopeful and has a chance at top 3. I don't think any of the teams are entering the tournament and are just lost. Like, there's no chance. The level of competition now in the field, everybody, when they play their best, can go far in this tournament. And you're obviously always hoping that it's going to be you. Most of the time it isn't, because there's 16 teams and only 3 get top 3. They Yeah, it just sucks. And we've had history with the tournaments, right? Where out of nowhere, nobody thought OG were going to be good, right? They made a team last minute for open qualifiers. They won TI. CDEC, I don't think people had high expectations for TI 5. They got second.
Yeah.
There are more examples.
DC, of course, we sucked ass before the entire
DC,
year before. Yeah.
People obviously thought Wings were going to own, but supposedly Wings actually had some really serious vitriol in their boot camp, and they might have just completely crumbled, but they got it together. DC were in shambles, is what I've been told by a former owner, and then they figured it out magically on the spot. Like, heading into that tournament, nobody in your team thought you were getting top 2.
No, definitely not. But I think it is interesting to see. Like, I wish we could get more information on what teams scrim what teams, because usually they have partners before TI. And if you just happen to get the best team, like, you're gonna improve dramatically, and that's exactly what happened to us. But yep, unfortunate on all sides. And as a result of this, I don't have the tweet up, but we can just talk about it briefly. Yakult Bros, which they have a slightly different name now or something.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think I read a comment about this. It was something about, they had to rename slightly because of some sort of ownership or whatever it was.
I see.
It's the same players. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, so Yakult Bros will be getting in, and I'm going to jinx it, Cinderin, which is a good thing for China, because then that means they'll do better than expected.
Okay.
That team, the times I've been casting them, it hasn't been in the last few. I mean, I haven't cast in a month, but they have looked really bad. I thought they looked extremely bad generally. They have a very slow play style. They're very methodical, very, very readable, very predictable. So, maybe they've changed things in the last month. They definitely have really good players, which is why it's so weird that it feels like they are just a tier 2.5 team,
I
we'll see how they
think
do.
this team is either gonna get like top 6 or last.
Actually, could be.
And the reason is, so when I look at their players, they are very hot and cold. Some of them. I think Ollie is, for me, the standout most stable player in this team. I think Ollie, when I watch him play 5, he's always super stable, really skilled, has great positioning, good awareness, plays the meta heroes. He's like the type of player you want in your team. I can't speak for his personality and what attitude or whatever they have internally, but just from watching the games, this guy's a rock. He's just really, really good. Then you have 2 or even 3 cores that can play the best game of their lives or look lost with half an hour in between.
Yeah.
So, like when the stars align, Emo is a monster. Fly plays a really good carry, but I've also had games where I've cast Fly, I've been like, what the fuck is he doing, And then Beyond is a mixed bag too. And finally, your position 4 is Boboka, who has like these wacky games on Stealth 4s or Monkey King or whatever that can totally throw the game off. And then he has other games where he's just there. So if they get the pieces together and things click, these guys are really, really good, but you got to look at the probability of that happening with all the chaos you have internally with the players.
Yeah.
So I love teams that have 1 or 2 players that can be really hot or cold. I think this team has too many. I think that is a weakness because the probability that they all play their A game at the same time is just too low. But if they do pop off, Shannon, don't say you didn't hear it here first.
You can't have it both ways, dude. If they get last, you're going to say, told you so. If they get top 6, you're going to say, told you so. If they get 7th or 8th, that's the only time that you can't say anything.
If they get any other place, wait, what's last isn't 9 through 16, right?
I mean, if you don't win, you lose, Syndrome.
Okay, you know what? They're going to get top 4 or last. Okay? Let's say that. Let's make it a bit more.
All right,
whatever.
Fine. There's no way they get top 4. I'd be fucking shocked.
Probably not. I'm more of a last believer, but okay.
Shall we move on?
I guess that's a good segue to a prediction, Shannon, because people have been asking us to do this. As a matter of fact, I believe people said we forgot to do it last episode, even though we specifically said we were going to do it next episode. In addition to that, I had quite a lot of people come to my stream on twitch.tv/Synderen saying, hey, what are your predictions? To which I say, I'm doing it on the podcast. And then they say, no, you didn't. To which I say, well, we're doing it next episode. Man. Here we are, everybody.
Do you just
predictions.
Do you have really brain dead viewers on your stream? Do you cater towards that or something? Everybody's got major brain rot.
I feel like I have a lot of similarities with my audience, honestly. Absent-mindedness, forgetfulness, supermodel. This whole thing we've got going on, all of us. My audience are very good looking. All right. This is how predictions work. This is Swiss for the first time at TI, which I am a big fan of. I love this format. I had my concerns about it in Dota. I have removed those concerns. I don't really have any worries about Swiss anymore. My original concern was that it was better for CS than Dota because the individual team versus team matchup in Dota are really important and you can get like quote unquote bad draws, but everything is BO3. And I think that makes things a lot better in Swiss, a lot more reliable. So the way this works, 2 teams will go undefeated. The way Swiss works, let's talk about Swiss really quickly for the audience that aren't familiar with this format, because it's not that common in Dota. Everybody starts with a 0-0 score, obviously. You play an opponent. 1 team will win, 1 team will lose. Now, 8 of the 16 teams will be 1-0, and 8 teams will be 0-1. You then, in the next round, play a team with the same score as yourself, and you do that until the bracket is over. So, after the next round, 4 teams will be 2-0, 8 teams will be 1-1, and 4 teams will be 0-2. Then the next round begins. The 2-0 teams play each other. That means only 2 teams after that will be 3-0, and then they are playing each other for the 1 team that gets 4-0. I did the math wrong there. There will be 2 teams that are 4-0. You get the idea.
What is this Liquid logo? I didn't recognize that at first.
Yeah, Liquid have made a new logo. I don't know about that one either. Anyway, the idea is you effectively have the teams play each other through this whole bracket, and at some point, teams are placed in upper, teams are placed in lower, and teams are eliminated. Oh no, I was right. There's only one 4-0 team. I'm just reading the graphic wrong. Okay, we're fine.
One undefeated team.
Yes. Good. So, how do you want to do this? So, we're effectively picking there's one team that will win 0 series, there's one team that will lose 0 series, and then it's everywhere between 4-1 and 1-4.
Yeah.
You so are eliminated with 4 losses.
Right. And how are we doing this with our predictions for the year?
You can swap. You can change them if you want to hedge your bets or whatever. But I mean, I'm assuming.
Okay, so that is separate from
this. We're doing this together.
Oh,
and then afterwards we're making our individual.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we can do it really fast.
All right, one undefeated team. I'm guessing we both pick Spirit.
Yeah, I'm on board with that. Let's pick Spirit.
And then as 2 4-1s. I'm guessing like P-Vision probably, and Tundra maybe. Maybe Liquid, maybe Falcons.
This is hard, right? How about Yakult?
No. Hard veto on that one. I mean, okay. The most dominant region is Eastern Europe. I don't think there's a question, right? And just Europe in general. The top 3 will be those 2 regions. And I think one of them will be P-Vision. You can pick the second team.
I can be on board with that. I mean, I'm fine. I'll put them top 4 in this. So if you feel strongly top 3, that's fine.
P-Vision.
And then the third slot, Falcons are coming off a heater, right? They just beat Spirit 3-0 in the finals, which we haven't talked about.
True.
Might not get around to that because this will take some time. But yeah, Falcons' power ranking going in is high because their last result is very good.
Okay, is that who you want to choose?
If you look across the entire year, would you rather put Falcons or Tundra to get 4-1? I'm fine with either, but I think it's one of those 2 that are most likely.
Falcons and who?
Tundra.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, it's a 50-50 for me. I mean, Liquid,
I would maybe pick both of them over P-Vision, actually.
Okay, I can change it.
No, it depends how strongly you feel. We also shouldn't discuss this forever.
I mean, it's just one loss.
There's a lot of
any of these teams. Yeah, any of these teams that could happen. So P-Vision, I'm putting as 4-1 then.
Okay, then I'm picking Falcons.
Oh no, sorry, as elimination round winner. So I picked Tundra Falcons to 4-1. Then, yeah.
This means the elimination round winners will be 3-2.
Yeah. So P-Vision,
and
that
means
Liquid, I would assume.
This is not only teams that you are like, these are top 8 teams. These are also teams that you think are likely to lose 2 series, first of all. And then, if they were in this spot, will clutch, right?
See, that's what, you know what? I'm making an executive decision. Oh, hold on. That's not the executive decision. Definitely not. Putting Falcons, they always lose it feels like they always lose in group stage. So
you're going to put them in elimination round winner.
Yeah, I just don't see P-Vision losing 2 games.
We put. I had P-Vision and Falcons. Is that what you have too now?
For 4-1?
Or do you have Tundra as
Tundra P-Vision is what I have.
Tundra P-Vision. Okay. I mean, let's just make the same one. That's fun. Let's do that. Okay.
So then we say
Falcons.
Falcons, Liquid. Probably Bet Boom. You never know with them. Na'Vi, maybe. Nigma.
I think there's some intrinsic value in a 2-2 spot. The teams that end up 2-2 are good enough to beat the worst teams consistently. Or, obviously, take a game off of, say, Falcons or P-Vision early and then lose afterwards. And then you want them to be able to clutch this. I think Liquid are a pretty good pick. I like them. I like Tidebound, I think, for this.
Okay. Yeah, I like Tidebound.
Because I think Tidebound's best can beat Spirit, and I think their worst can lose to everyone. Like, they are really a mixed bag.
That's
for
true.
me.
I think Bet Boom then is the same.
They're more
then,
consistent than Yakult Brothers.
Bet Boom
is a good pick.
In this.
Yeah, Bet Boom's a good pick. Then the question is, so we have Aurora, Extreme, Wildcard, Nemesis, Boom, Nigma, Heroic, and Na'Vi left.
Yeah, this is tough. I have, like we've said, I've yet to cast Na'Vi with Got the Juice as much as I've been wanting to.
Yeah.
Aurora
could all do this, honestly.
Aurora could. So this eliminates 8 teams, right?
Yes.
So it's about who does not go on to the playoff stage.
Yeah.
Is there going to be one Chinese team?
Well, I would pick Tidebound.
No, I mean, is there only going to be one Chinese? Yes.
Oh, only. Yes. I see.
I could see NGX. It feels like when they're at LAN, they just, I don't know. There's
That's
just something
true.
there.
They're better on LAN. I think for me, I'm debating Extreme, but I feel like Extreme is just bad against the top teams here, right?
Yeah, I'm not picking
It's
Extreme.
like Extreme's matchups, but they don't have to beat the top. They have to beat the bottom 8. I think Extreme is actually good against every other team, is the thing. I think Extreme's playstyle works well against Nigma Galaxy, because if you can, Nigma Galaxy's biggest problem as an example team here is they sometimes are very, very good at playing the first 20 minutes, but then they don't close games out. And Extreme are sometimes very bad at the first 20 minutes, but they clutch it up in late game. When you get to the high stakes games, teams tend to play slower and take fewer risks. And that's when a team like Extreme will do very well against a lot of these slower teams.
I'm up for you to jinx the Chinese teams.
I mean, the question, who else would you pick, though? Like, who do you think? I think Aurora is the other best choice.
I mean, for me, it was between Extreme, NGX, Aurora, Na'Vi. Those are the other teams I don't think are going to do anything.
I want Na'Vi to get top 8. I really do. I think that's a cool story.
But your heart is, your brain is telling you Extreme. You know, you see Ame, you see Jin Q. Like, surely they get top 8.
It's a star-studded roster, right? That's why you were like tempted to say
I saw Ame carry Thompson in a pub the other day on his stream, so let's go Extreme. He's got the practice in. Okay.
All right, that's a good tiebreaker. That's good. We'll do that. Okay.
Okay, so these are all the same. These next 5, right?
So for the audio listeners, 4-0 Team Spirit, 4-1 Tundra P-Vision, 3-2 Falcons, Liquid, Tidebound, BB Team, and Extreme Gaming.
Yeah, I think this is pretty
Now
solid.
It's about the order of eliminated teams. Let's go bottom up. Let's start with the dog here. Who's going 0-4?
Okay. I don't even know who's on Team Nemesis, if I'm being honest.
Dude, yeah, Cult is a possible pick here, is what I'm saying. Like, they could be here. I said they were going to get last or top 6,
for 0 and 4,
right?
You mean, right?
Yeah. So if I need to stick to what I said, and I said either top 4 or last, I have to put them last, right?
There's no way they go 0-4. I'm sorry.
It's not out of the question, man. I'm telling you.
I don't think so.
It's just not. Okay. I mean, you can win me over. It's fine. We can move a little bit. Who do you want to have there then?
Well,
I think half a year ago you would have said Wildcard, right? I think Wildcard have leveled up. I actually think they're pretty good.
I think Wildcard will win a game.
I think so too.
I
think they might even win twice.
Team Nemesis, I've never seen them play though, so this is just out of unfamiliarity.
Yeah, they kind of smashed the SEA quals though. And they have my son, of course, notoriously, very famously, Raven, the son of me and Era.
I love Raven. I think we should do it in the opposite order. It's actually harder to do this way, in my opinion.
Okay, sure. Fine.
So the teams that will
barely
lose in the
not
elimination round, so go 2 and 3, right? So Na'Vi, Aurora. The order doesn't really matter here. NGX.
Okay.
Now it gets
you think Nigma win twice?
Yeah, I do. I'm pretty confident that these will be, if not here, then higher.
I think Boom will be here.
Okay, Boom, sure.
And then, if you want NGX, we put them there. That's fine. We get one each. And then the last one,
maybe Heroic.
I think Heroic are going to bomb out this event.
They're going to bomb out. Okay.
Yeah. I think either they get dead last or they win one series. I mean, yeah, that's what's left. Duh. But okay, I'll put it this way. If you want to move your cult away from 0-4, I'm putting Heroic there.
You want Heroic as an 0-4 team. Oof.
Yeah, I do.
Do you know anything about Team Nemesis?
I mean, they haven't had much exposure outside of the SAA qualifiers, right? But it was a pretty stacked qualifier, and they were good. So, but it's so long ago, right? There's so much can have happened in between then. And there's a lot of uncertainty with some of these players with like the big stage and whatnot. Like how well are they going to do when the stakes are high?
Right, well,
but I do think it's worth keeping in mind. These are not stage games, right? The stage is top 8. Yeah. So this is not about crowd and nerves to the same extent.
Okay, I'm going to make an executive decision. I'm going to skip this team first. Team that goes 1-4 is Yakult. I just have a very strong feeling.
You've chosen that. Okay. Who's the other one?
Wild card.
Okay.
Okay.
Then I'm putting Nemesis 2 and 3.
All right. So sorry, Heroic. This is Cinderen's call, by the way, not me.
As always, I'm happy to be wrong. I want all the teams to win. So, but the last games and the last series I saw from Heroic were not inspiring, and I honestly don't know if these matchups in general that they have here are going to be that good. But Heroic is another great example of a team, though, that has these like runs, right? They had that insane run at Valachia where they won with Parker. And then they've also just had tournaments where I haven't been that, like where they just haven't had a click. I just feel like they've been on a downward trajectory the last half year. And this is where they get a chance to turn it around. But so the development throughout the year would indicate.
One thing that I don't like about this list, which, you know, I can keep it as is for our in-game predictions. I don't think there's 2 Chinese teams top 8. I think there's 0% chance. Just feels like it never happens.
No, I mean, we can revise it. If you want to move extreme, we can move extreme. I feel strongest about Tidebound. I think it's the best Chinese team against international teams. And I actually don't even think it's that close.
No, I'm fine with Tidebound. Yeah, it was more extreme.
So, yeah. So if you want to keep them,
so
who do you want to swap extreme for? Aurora?
It would be Aurora probably, or maybe NGX, but...
Okay. I mean, take your pick. We can move around a little bit.
Wait, how do you even... How do I
just
unselect this? Can you not do that?
Wait, what?
Oh, you can... Oh, I see what happens. Okay, so Aurora, extremes down here. Okay.
Oh, okay, that's how
I think that's right.
So you want Aurora up there, and then you want extreme 2 and 3, and the rest the same.
Yeah.
Because then we can give...
All right. Pretty good. This looks pretty
Final revision. Audio listeners, these are our predictions. 4-0, Team Spirit. 4-1, Tundra and P-Vision. 3-2, Falcons, Team Liquid, Team Tidebound, BB Team, and Aurora. 2-3, Extreme Gaming, Navi, Boom, Nigma Galaxy, and Nemesis. 1-4, Yakutu Brothers and Wildcard, and 0-4, Heroic.
Yep, I think this is good.
Yeah.
Felt weird having Aurora in the bottom 8 when it feels like they're always up there. They just never win.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's fair. I think this is a pretty good representation of the year as a whole, but there's always going to be upsets.
Yeah, so we'll have to do another podcast at TI for the second stage, right?
That's right. And that the predictions are available in 9 days. When is it the playoff stage starts? It's like the 10th of September, I think. Something like that. 10th or 11th. So yeah, in next episode, that will be it, because we're obviously traveling before that.
That's right.
Cool. Okay. So then let's quickly segue to our individual predictions for our prediction game. This is a little bit weird since we've just done predictions, but this is obviously actually not that weird because we're not even predicting this stage, right? We're predicting the top 3 of the tournament.
That's true. Yeah.
So what we're doing here is we're doing top 3, Dark Horse, and White Donkey as usual. We're just doing the exact same as we always do.
Okay.
So the current standings are you are leading by 30 to 25. A spot on prediction gives 2 points. And that is, they get the exact placement you say. And the Dark Horse and White Donkeys also give 2 points if they meet the requirements. And a correct team in the top 3, but in the wrong order, gives 1 point. Okay. Let's take turns. I'll go first. But I won't take...
So, because I'm ahead, do you want me to go first so that you don't copy me? Or I don't copy you?
Yeah, that's true. Because you definitely would. Okay.
And the problem is I'm going to end up taking stuff that you probably would have predicted.
Do you want to start with top 3, or do you want to start with the upset / disappointment teams?
Doesn't matter. We can do top 3.
Okay, you start. You're taking Spirit first place, I'm guessing?
Do I think that there's going to be a 3-time TI winner with Tundra or Spirit? Yeah, I feel like Spirit's just too good. I'm going to go Spirit number 1.
Yeah. If you had to give a percentage chance you think they win, what do you think it is?
Maybe 50%.
50%? That they win the tournament?
Yeah. Well, it's like I feel like it's
Well, 50-50, either it happens or it doesn't.
Well, in my head, it's like an 80% chance to me that they're top 3. And if they're top 3, they're just going to win the whole thing. Like
80%.
Whatever.
Crazy.
It's just a whatever. It's not a calculation. Just a random ass number.
Statements like that. This is what the people want, Shannon. They want bold statements. I've polled the viewers and they say be more radical, you know?
Oh, really?
Which is why you said Team Heroic are fucking dog shit and they're getting 0-4. Okay.
Wait, do you want me to do full top 3?
No, you can we can do one at a time. That's fine.
Okay.
I will pick. I'll pick Falcons to win.
Falcons to win. Okay.
Yep. Okay. Second place.
I think P Vision is third. I'm just going to do that now. Is this just the order that I think?
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
then
I'm just going to do Tundra second.
I'll do my third place as well then.
Yeah, I'm just doing the same order I have on here. So Spirit, Tundra, P Vision.
I will do Shannon. Do I curse a Chinese team or do I not believe in them for the sake of the region? What do you think?
It's a great call. I mean, this could be your shining moment.
I'm just not feeling Tundra as much as you are, I have to say. I don't even know if I want them top 3. Yeah, it'll be a good laugh. Let's say Tidebound third. Unlucky, guys. You can.
I mean, you never know. My boy Faith Beyond. You never know.
Faith Beyond is one of my favorite players ever, and my favorite Chinese player. I wish him all the best. Okay. Second place for you.
Tundra.
I'm guessing it's just Tundra? Yeah. Okay. I will not even put them top 3.
Just so you can try your YOLO catch-up. It's a good strat, though.
I mean, I kind of have to, right?
Yeah.
Do I think Power Vision get top 3? I'll do Spirit second. I also think it's just too likely they get top 3, right? So I have to have them in top 3. I don't think it's 80%.
What percent do you think they get top 3?
I don't know, maybe 50.
Okay.
Maybe that's conservative. I don't know. Okay. You choose Dark Horse or White Donkey, and the conditions we have to agree on. What is considered a Dark Horse?
Okay, Dark Horse is.
How about we say the Dark Horse category is making the final stage? So one team that gets top 8, and you have to pick someone that we did not expect.
NGX.
So now you're like hedging your bets.
NGX, okay. Then top 8.
So you choose Nigma to get top 8. I will agree with that being a Dark Horse for this tournament. I think that's fair. I will choose Navi top 3.
Top 3?
Top 8, sorry. Top 8.
Holy shit.
I want bonus points for that one.
I'll give you 10 points for that.
Who is going to underperform? You cannot say China. That is not a team. You have to pick a team.
Yeah, it just depends. Does this also need to be a top 8 team that we have currently that we think may underperform?
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. I thought for Dark Horse it's a good cutoff to say they make the LAN, right?
Okay.
Or the stage.
Can I hedge my bets with NGX and say bottom 3?
No, because then you can't be. Oh wow, that's a bit boring, isn't it? Do another team.
All right. Liquid is always a great.
They are a great donkey. They have been a great donkey for half a year. Yeah.
Okay.
Very, very.
You know what?
Unpredictable.
I'm gonna YOLO that one because I don't know what it is about them. I'll say bottom 8 Liquid as my white donkey.
Bottom 8. Oh, do you want a bonus point? Is that a bonus point, actually? I don't know.
Is it that crazy? I don't think it's that crazy. It's one game.
I mean, it isn't. We put them
loss.
3 and 2, right? Yeah, you're right. It's good teams, right? It sounds crazy. But it actually isn't that crazy. Okay, my white donkey is, well, I guess in the same vein, I can probably choose either BB Team or Aurora to not get top 8. Is that fine? Because I think I would.
It's not as strong as the Liquid one.
That is not as strong. That's fair.
Yeah, the problem is there's like the the segmentation isn't that easy, right? It's like,
I mean, I can also choose one of the favorites to not get top 4. Like if I said Spirit, not top 4, I think that would be a white donkey, right?
yeah, that's fair.
I will not do that though, because I picked them to get second, so that would be kind of silly. What if I said P-Vision not top 4? Would you give me that?
It's close. I don't think
You
I'd
had
give
them
you
4
that
and
one.
1 in the group,
I don't think I'd give you
or
that
in the
one.
Swiss.
I could
You
see
wouldn't.
them. I could see them getting 5 through 8 easily.
Okay. All right. Damn. You're being. Well, I guess this is for all the marbles, right?
If you want to say Aurora goes 1 and 4, I'll give you that one.
Ugh, dude, that is spice. Can I do Tundra not top 4?
Yes, I'll give you that one.
So you think they are better than P-Vision on paper?
Yeah, I think they're
by
just better.
enough that you
Yeah.
will give me that.
I think they have way more experience. Yeah.
They have an edge, okay? Because
Yeah,
I think in
so.
the last half year, their results between those two teams are probably comparable, right?
Yeah, they are.
In terms of like land wins and
still,
high placements.
It's TI. It's different beast.
Okay, I'll say Tundra not top 4. That is a white donkey. You gotta.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that. Easy.
Okay, that means so I picked top 3 in order: Falcons, Spirit, and Tidebound, and you picked Spirit, Tundra, and Paravision. I picked Dark Horse, Navi top 8, and White Donkey Tundra not top 4. You picked Dark Horse, Nigma Galaxy top 8, and Liquid bottom 8 as White Donkey.
Oof.
All right, good luck, Shannon. I need to catch up by at least 5 points, which would be ridiculous and is almost impossible.
Is there a
Here I go.
tiebreaker that we should discuss beforehand? Flip a coin. No, actually, I hate 50-50s. I always lose them.
What would be a good tiebreaker? A best of 3 in table tennis.
Yeah, you're better than me.
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, aren't we pretty close?
I'll play in pickleball. I'll take that one any day.
Oh, I think I beat you in singles and pickleball.
You just got lucky because I was sore and old. I'm not old anymore. All right, well, we'll discuss it if the time comes because it's not one of those things I'm worried that either of us are going to fuck each other. So
this might also be mathematically impossible
It
after
might
the
be.
first round.
it might be.
Okay. Good.
Did you want to briefly talk about fantasy?
Yeah, so we could do this. So for those of you out there who are interested in fantasy, which is probably a lot of you since there's the rewards that we talked about in the last episode with all the new cool stuff with the Tyrion Regalias, free Aegis, whatnot, if you place high. I think we can talk about what we think is an interesting fantasy roster. But obviously these cards, you need to roll them. So there will be modifiers, and therefore you might have a player that we think is the 4th best, but he might be number 1 for you because you have good modifiers on the card. But let's just draft a lineup that we think is good without modifiers. So we can just talk about what our fantasy is if there were no numbers on them.
Okay.
So there's 3 categories. There's core, mid, and support. Core is 1 and 3, obviously, and support is 4 and 5. And the goal is for the player to earn points. And there's different metrics you earn points by, such as stacking camps, displacing wards, destroying towers, collecting madstones, GPM, creeps, kills, deaths, Roshans, lotuses, team fight participation, stuns, tormentor kills, courier kills, first blood, using smokes, and taking the watcher. So literally everything. So you kind of want to pick players that you just think individually will have good performance. And of course, it's ideal for you that the players go far in the tournament because then they have more possibilities to earn points.
I mean, I only have 2 players that I'm debating between, and that's Yatoro and 33.
For core.
Yeah, for core.
So this is 1 or 3, yeah?
Oh, man.
Let's use the logic of the teams we placed to go far, right? So in your 1, 2, and 3, you had Spirit, Tundra, and P-Vision. So your number 1 would be the carry of Spirit, and your number 2 would be the 3 of Tundra that you're debating between.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll just do Yatoro. I'll be easy.
Okay. Yeah. We can pick the same here, by the way. We're just picking what we think is good, right? He's a very solid pick for core, specifically because he's not competing with mids.
I think he's extremely safe. Yeah.
I think if he plays his best, Mickey could be good here as well. He has a lot of really clean games for Liquid, but again, Liquid is such a wild card. It's like if Liquid play their best, Mickey could be the number 1 fantasy player. And if they don't, he will not even be high up. I think it's very team based, obviously, because your team needs to play well for you to shine. All things considered, I picked Falcons to win. Do I want to pick one of them as...
I'm going to choose Malrine
Amar's
as
not
my mid
bad
player.
either.
I'm just picking
Okay.
the people I think are the best at their role.
Yeah, that's not a bad choice. Are you able to take 2 from the same team?
I mean, I don't see why not. Let me see.
You can. Okay,
Yeah.
you can stack. Yeah, that's obviously... If you want a number like a super top score, you probably want 2 players from the same team, right?
Yeah, that's
You'd
true.
think. At least 2. Okay,
Oops.
I will pick... This is more fun if we have different ones, right? I'll pick Amar as my core.
Okay, that's a good choice.
And my mid will be... Is it ever good to pick a player you don't think is getting top 3?
Probably not.
That can't be good, right?
I'm picking Maposhka as my support, so I have 2 spirit players.
That is a very good pick.
I have 2 spirit, 1 falcons.
Yeah, I will do Amar and Malrine, and then my support will be... So we do share Malrine, right? Miposhka is such a good pick. I think he's the best pick.
Just
it's
take
just
him then.
boring then,
Just
right?
take him. Who
Isn't
cares?
it boring, dude?
I
We
mean,
have 2 of the same.
Nah, I think the predictions are more interesting anyway. The fantasies,
Okay.
whatever. This is just for your...
Okay.
Get your immortals
So-
or whatever the fuck you get for free.
Yeah. So if you guys... Our picks, if there is no modifiers on the cards, are for you, it was Yatoro, Malrine, Miposhka, and for me it was Amar, Malrine, Miposhka.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do I stand by that? I think it's fine. It's kind of close, honestly, and that's also why we agree so much, right?
Change title.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and then when you continue, you start rolling modifiers.
All right, we're not going to do that on stream.
No,
Yeah,
that's
I'll do
fine.
this later.
Because then we might change our minds again and whatnot. That's cool. Okay.
Okay, very cool. Very cool. Do you want to talk about this last topic?
Sure. Why not?
All right, let me bring that up on screen then.
Oh yeah, someone in your chat is mentioning Whitemon being a good pick for 5. He's also a good choice, but
I mean, there's a
again,
lot of good
I
choices.
picked Tundra as my white donkey, so I kind of can't. If I'm predicting Tundra to not get top 4, I could hedge my bets, I guess, but you got to go all in on this, guys. If you want to get a high placement, you got to commit, and then either you do really well or you do very poorly. I don't
True.
think there's an in-between strategy here if you want top 1% or whatever.
So, final topic of today. It's kind of a double whammy. It's deadlock related. There was a brand new update, which I don't really think have the capacity to talk about it too much. I only know a couple of the characters, what they do. But they came out with 6 new heroes, and since the last time we talked, Deadlock has had a ton of updates in terms of just making things look visually better. I don't even think we talked about the lanes being from 4 to 3, which is something that
I might have mentioned it. I'm not sure.
like when I was playing, when I had 4 lanes, I'm like, man, I wish I had 3 lanes. They just reverted it, so that's good. But the map is still huge. And yeah, they just came out with 6 new heroes, so a lot of people are playing again. And then when they made the announcement, the person that made the post was apparently Icefrog. So that pretty much solidifies that he is... I mean, who knows if he's working on Dota from time to time, but his main thing is still Deadlock. And I think probably neither of us are surprised, is what I would guess.
We've talked about this multiple times, I think, across the last 2 years, but I've felt the direction of Dota's development, the way patches happen, and the way the map has changed and whatnot, is not giving me Icefrog vibes. That does not mean he's not involved, but I don't think he's the lead. They might use him for counsel and give input, and perhaps he's like part of testing or whatever. But it's either that, or if he is still the lead on Dota, he has changed his approach, which is also happens to all of us. We change our minds or our directions with whatever we work with. But yeah, I haven't been getting much Icefrog vibes for 2 or 3 years, which kind of checks out with Deadlock, right? Being very actively in development. And I guess the other thing to say about this is Deadlock is currently going through a cycle that's quite similar to when Dota was in early beta, right? Except the difference is Dota was revealed to the public with TI.
Yeah.
So people were playing beta beforehand, and a lot of people wanted a key and couldn't get in. Deadlock still has keys, I believe, but a lot more of people have got in than they did for Dota. But Deadlock has not announced and might not want to do a TI or anything like that at all, or a Valve organized tournament. But
I'd be surprised if they want to do that.
but this is reminding me of the big early Dota 2 patches, right? That people sometimes forget. Like sometimes there would just be a Dota 2 patch, 4 new heroes, boom, ported over from Dota 1. Here they are, all the stuff,
Man,
cosmetics, whatever.
Those were the good old days, Cinderin.
Those patches were insane, obviously. And
I remember the Cyborg Matt, like his blog post where he would mine the data in the files to get new information that wasn't revealed. Like, it was a different time. It was so fucking awesome. I loved it.
It is looking like, which obviously makes sense, Valve are putting a lot of resources into Deadlock. And if they still believe as much in it as it seems as their next title, why wouldn't they, right? This big of a patch to put in, I think a comparison that's worth keeping in mind is how Valve treat Deadlock versus how they used to treat Dota in its comparable stage versus how they treated those stages for Underlords and Artifact, right? It's very different approaches, and it feels like Valve are trying to mimic the Dota 2 approach because that was the one that was most successful, right?
That's a good point.
So perhaps they feel like, all right, this is how we are going to develop a product and make it the best possible. It worked for Dota. It didn't work as well for the other games. It could literally also just be genre, timing, monetization. It could have been all sorts of other stuff that fucked up with the other ones. But they're probably, in the way Valve operate, they're probably trying to isolate, right? And be like, okay, now we're doing this because it worked there, and then come to some sort of conclusions. I have not played Deadlock in quite a while. I don't know if you played it with this new patch. I have not.
Nope.
But
I've watched streams from time to time. I don't know. It's
right.
Never say never. I don't think it's a game I'm going to pick up probably again. I am interested in like the hero designs, even though I haven't looked at these ones in particular. I've looked at Doorman though, because based on the visuals, I'm like, holy shit, is that Portal? Yeah, he has a doorway that he creates that's literally sick. Portal. So that's kind of cool.
That is cool.
But I mean, like watching it, it's very hectic. Just particles all over the place. It's really hard to watch, I would say. And I think that's the thing they're going to struggle with the most. But then again, Valve maybe not super interested in the esport aspect to this anyway. So if it's fun to play, then it's fun to play. Yeah. But it's still the same argument for me. First of all, thing I've noticed with making my own game is you don't want to cater to Dota players because they don't like anything else. And I say this with as much love as possible because I'm kind of one of those people, but Dota players don't play other games. It's actually so weird. It's an anomaly.
I mean, we're a little bit of an anomaly there to an extent, right? And we're not like fully Dota, you and me.
Yeah, that's true. We are a little bit different.
We do play all this stuff.
We haven't let the brain rot truly get to us, I guess. But for me, it's still, I know it's a shooter, but it's a MOBA. And if I'm going to play a MOBA, it's still just going to be Dota, you know?
Right.
Like, it's not
and if you want to play shooter, you would play CS or Valorant.
Yeah, it's not scratching an itch that I have. So that's really why I haven't picked it up. Like, I'm interested. I hope it does well. Like I said, I enjoy watching it from time to time just to see what's new, but not for me, I think. Maybe things change, though, because it's still in development. So who knows?
Yeah, let me check. I'm actually curious when I played it last. So my last Deadlock game was almost a year ago. Wow, it's been a year.
Wait, how do you check that?
You just open Steam and you click on the game, then it says last played. So my last played says September 9, 2024. And I wasn't like, man, this game sucks. I don't want to play anymore. I played 8 hours. I enjoyed myself. And I was like, I will play this again later when they develop on it further. So this could soon be the time for me to try and give it another shot. But I did not stop playing because I wasn't having fun. But I do think that game, it is, at least the way I played it and my initials just start with it, I think it's a lot more important for me when playing that game to play it with friends than it is in Dota.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that game, you really want to communicate with someone and play together. Because like you said, it's hectic, it's very dynamic, the movement is it's high octane. So I think it's more, for me, that's more of a co-op game than Dota is, as weird as that is to say. But yeah, I like you said, I also hope the game does well, and I do think it has promise, but it is a bold choice for Valve to try to merge those genres and see if they can make it work. But I guess they don't have very much competition except Marvel Rivals, right?
Yeah, which has been dropping off apparently. So
yeah, so that's not great, I guess.
I mean, we talked about this when it initially came out. Like, even if, like, we both think that if Valve puts their mind to it, they will make the best game for the genre possible, and I have no doubt that that's going to be the case. The question is, how much of an audience is there for that genre in general? Like, I guess Marvel Rivals did have a lot initially, but how much of that is because of the IP? People they cream their pants anytime something Marvel. I will never understand that, by the way. It feels like it's just way too much of the same IP. It's like, don't you guys get sick of that shit? I don't know. Anywho, like, I would have actually been more interested. Not that I would have played it, I guess, regardless. But if it was a different IP, I would have been more interested, actually, because I'm so sick of Marvel shit. It's like constantly in my face. Like, everything is Marvel. That's just a tangent, though. Okay, cool. So that does it for this episode. Next week-ish, we'll be at TI.
We'll be at TI, yeah.
And we will have casted a bit, and then we'll do an episode in between for the final stage. So
yeah, I think it's a good setup right now. We will do 1 or 2 episodes at TI, depending on how things line up, and at least one of them will be when group stage, or rather Swiss stage, is concluded and playoffs have not started, right? So we can do prediction round 2.
That's right.
So we will do an episode in between. And then aside from that, who knows? Maybe we do an extra episode with a guest, or we do another episode just the 2 of us, or whatever. But if things line up, it's always a little bit difficult to predict what the workflow is going to look like, people's availability, day rhythm, something as banal as that, like everything.
Yeah, if Gabe Newell's at TI, then we'll definitely get him on the podcast.
We'll get him. And if he doesn't show up, maybe we'll get Pier and Flex again.
Sounds good. All right. Till next time, Sunset Center signing out. See you guys at TI. Peace.
Bye.
We say things that don't mean anything.
Subscribe. Look, it does say Syndrome on my Twitch. You got it right.